An assassin slit the throat of Egypt's last great pharaoh at the climax of a bitter succession battle, scientists said in a report on a 3,000-year-old royal murder. Forensic technology suggests Ramses III, a king revered as a god, met his death at the hands of a killer or killers sent by his conniving wife and ambitious son. And the cadaver, known as the Screaming Mummy, could be that of the son himself, possibly forced to commit suicide after the plot. Computing tomography CT imaging of the mummy of Ramses III shows that the pharaoh's windpipe and major arteries were slashed, inflicting a wound 70 millimeters wide and reaching almost to the spine. The jury of the 9th Dubai International Film Festival announced on Sunday this year's winner of the Muhar Awards, which includes Egyptian star Amr Waked, actress Taid Al-Kashif, film editor Dina Farou, and filmmaker Ahmed Ibrahim. The Muhar Awards were established in 2006 to honor filmmakers from the Arab world and were expanded to include Asia and Africa competitions in 2007. This year, 83 films competed for over $600,000 in prize money. Waked won Best Actor in the Muhar Award Arab Feature category for his performance in Ibrahim Battute's Winter of Discontent, which had its world premiere in the 69th Venice Film Festival earlier this year. Judges announced that the Egyptian author Izzat al-Kamhawi's generational novel Bayt al-Deeb, or House of Deeb, had won the 2012 Naguib Mahfouz Medal. The ceremony was held as scheduled at the American University in Cairo's Zamalek dormitory on the 101st anniversary of Mahfouz's birth. Kamhawi, who was born in Sharqiyya and currently lives in Qatar, has published several short story collections and 4 novels. These include City of Delight, A Room Overlooking the Nile, The Guard, and his latest, House of Deeb. House of Deeb is a novel that spans 4 generations, interweaving a fictional village with strands of Egyptian history from Napoleon's 19th century expedition to the 20th century's Gulf War. Turkish artist Hekmet Burçagil is here today to show the AUC students and the Egyptian audience that are here to attend more about the art of Ebru and what it's like. So let's go find out more about it. With us right now is Hekmet Burçagil. He's an artist here and he's showing us a bit of his waterwork. So could you tell us a bit about what Ebru is?
Ebru means, the word of Ebru is come from the Persian word of Abru. Ab is water, Ru is face, also surface. Abru means water surface. So in this technique we have a water thickening by a natural gum and floating color on water surface, designing on the water and transferring to paper. This is shortly what it is.
So how long have you been working with water and paper?
Well, almost 40 years. Yeah.
So how is it different from like regular painting?
Well, the technique is done on water, and this is an old technique. We don't know exactly when and where it started, but we know several hundred years. Mostly bookbinders use this technique, but those days they start getting more and more popular. When I started 40 years ago, there was only no one, only single person doing this. But thanks God, we could have different way of looking to this technique. This exhibition, you see one of these its facilities. This Ebru mostly used as a paper coloring technique, and mostly used by bookbinders and calligraphers. But in this way, we can apply on fabric, on ceramic, on wood, in different styles, and also different way of understanding this technique. So I'm trying to this technique bring to life with a modern way. And this Alif is the most beautiful letter, I think, from all the alphabets. And all other letters come from Alif. So Alif has so many different meanings, spiritual meanings, deeply meanings. So I just wanted to remind Alif with this technique of Ebru.
So have the Egyptians been well receiving and this art? I mean, have they received it well? Are people interested in learning more about the art, for instance, different artists here in Egypt?
Yeah, I've been here 2 times before, and I met some small workshops, and I noticed that Egyptian people are really interested. So I'm going to have another workshop here on Monday, tomorrow. So I'm sure several people come. Of course, it's not enough to teach everything in one day, but at least get an idea. So if they like it, if they love it, they can create, they can learn themselves more.
Professor Shams Friedlander, could you tell us how you managed to organize this event here?
Well, Hikmet Baraçoğlu, who is the leading Ebru artist actually in the world, and recently, last year, won the Oxford Prize, which was given from among many, many different artists at Oxford University that were presenting their work. And the artists voted. It's sort of like the Academy Award. The artists voted for the best artist, and he was selected. But he's been a personal friend of mine for over 25 years, so it was very easy to. When I was in Istanbul in the summertime, he showed me some of this work with the Aleph, and I thought it was amazing because I've seen his work over the years, but this was just fantastic. So I said, let's organize an exhibit, and he agreed, and so we started to put it together.
Enough people are getting exposure to this kind of art here in Egypt?
No, of course not. You know, that's why we're doing something like this here at the university, because the university is a place for learning. It's a place for education. It's a place to expose young Egyptian minds and, of course, adults to various forms of art and communication that can help in the future of the country even.
Could you tell us a bit about the interest that students have shown?
Yes, I think the students have shown a great interest. Of course, this is the opening, and we'll be here. We'll show this exhibit for a month, so I expect a lot of students will come during the month, you know, that we'll have it opened. But we had a good response today, and a lot of the students were actually trying to do it and finding it's very magical, you know. So I think that it's very important that we bring to this house of learning, this university, a lot of different means from the outside and from within Egypt itself of traditional and contemporary art, which I feel is the great means of communication.
Sculpture is a very unique and a beautiful kind of art, and today we are present at a very nice exhibition entitled The Presence, which is organized at the Museum of Mahmoud Mukhtar here in Cairo. So let's watch together.
الحضور جاي من فكرة حضور فن النحت بالنسبة لمجالات النحت بالنسبة لمجالات الفن بشكل عام.
The exhibition entitled Al-Hudur, which means attendance, is about the importance of sculpting. Sculpting is an instinct. For instance, children at a young age show instinctual talent for sculpting, using nature as a means of inspiration. Nature increases the love for sculpting. The ancient Egyptian civilization are the first sculptors in the world and exported this art to other cultures. The diverse kinds of materials for sculpting inspires artists to create a mix of traditional Egyptian sculpting and Western styles.